Have you ever wondered how some people can seem to be living so comfortably? They're always traveling lah, dining out lah, and then yet they still seem like they can save money one. So today I'll be sharing with you some practical tips on how to stretch your money further. So stick around because by the end of this video, I'll be sharing with you some new money saving strategy to help you get the most out of your ringgit. Plus, we also got some real life tips from a friend of ours that can inspire you to travel more without breaking the bank. Alright, let's start with the most exciting one, which is traveling. All of us, we love a good holiday, right? But how do you travel in style without spending a fortune? You've probably heard about tips like using the right credit card to accumulate air miles, or even traveling during off-season, because during that time air tickets are cheaper, hotel prices are cheaper. But those are too basic. Let's talk about something that is more interesting: attending time-sharing or holiday club presentation. And we got our friend who just did that to share this with you.
One day I was scrolling through my emails and I got this email that said, "Hey, would you be interested in going for a holiday for only 3,000 ringgit? The deal was actually worth 20,000. I signed up. It was 3,000 ringgit for a 4-day, 3-night stay at a 5-star hotel for 6 people. So I was able to bring my family and we had such a great time there. But what was the catch? The catch is I had to sit in a 2.5 presentation where they tried to sell me the vacation package. Was that worth 2.5 hours of my life? Yes. Even though I didn't buy the package, they still treated us like we were fully paying guests. So my takeaway from this whole experience is be careful of potential scams, but always be open to try new things.
So after hearing from our guests, what do you think? Do you think this is worth it to actually sit down and listen for 1-2 hours on a sales pitch, but yet you get to go to this nice holiday at a very discounted price? And that's it for traveling. Now, when it comes to stretching our ringgit, there are actually countless opportunities in our daily lives. It's not just in the area of traveling. Very often, we don't realize how making certain small changes can add up to big savings over time. So let's look at some practical hacks that can help you save some money without making major lifestyle sacrifices. Let's begin with a subscription hack that I learned. Now, this is quite a clever way to save some money. You know, today with digital age, we have many subscriptions on all sorts of apps. The thing is this, after signing up for it, sometimes we just don't end up using it that much and we just continuously pay for it. And all this adds up to quite an amount. So here's a clever way that I learned. Cancel your subscription right after you sign up. It may sound very odd, but think about it. For most of the subscription, even after you cancel, you can still access to it for the whole full month. The good thing is this, by the end of the month, you get to reevaluate again to see whether is this subscription really worth it? Do you use it often? Do you really need this service? And if you don't, by the end of the month, you will not be charged anymore. But if you do, you can easily resubscribe it over your app, right? The most important thing is this helps you to cut back on this unnecessary subscription, helping you to save some extra money. The next tip is on grocery shopping. This tip is also going to be very simple, but it definitely helped me to save a lot of money when I do my grocery shopping. Which is, instead of walking into a physical shop to do my grocery shop, these days I try to do my grocery shopping online. You may think, what's the difference? Well, the difference is quite a lot. Have you ever walked into a grocery shop or shopping mall thinking you want to buy certain things, but by the end of your shopping trip, you end up buying a lot more things than necessary? And you may think that this is because you're not disciplined enough and so on. Well, that kind of contributes to it. But the truth is, in most shops, they're actually well designed in such a way to encourage you to spend more money. And yes, there is this whole science about how to make you spend more money. For example, you will find that the offer items are generally placed at the back of the shop, so that you need to walk through one whole long line of other goods and get tempted by it and end up maybe picking up a few snacks here and there, right? Also, you will find that at the checkout checkout counter, there are candies and so on. So for those of you with a sweet tooth, after shopping for an hour, you're probably tired and then you will crave for some sugar and you will end up buying some extra candies and so on. So yes, next time if you overspend, maybe you can pat yourself on the back and tell yourself, it's not just about me not being disciplined, but the shop play a role in it. So now when you do your shopping online, you will not be tempted by all this walking around. You will actually stick to your shopping list. Another part is because every time when you add new things into a cart, it kind of tabulates to a number. So what happens is that if you can't afford, you can always remove things from your cart so that you can keep to your budget. But when you're in a physical shop, when you make payment at the counter, it's gonna be quite troublesome for the staff to cancel certain orders. So sometimes we feel obligated to actually buy whatever we take, even though we know that we blow our budget. Sounds familiar, right? So yeah, next time when you do your grocery shopping, maybe think about doing it online instead. Okay, and now let's talk about something else that we often overlook. That is insurance. Because think about it, insurance is just like subscription. It's quite easy to lose track of how much we are actually spending on things like protection and coverage, right? But okay lah, very hard to compare a subscription, right? Because insurance these days is something that is truly needed. We know that it will make a difference when something unexpected happens. And most of us would agree today that insurance is essential. But often we see this one thing, which is for some of us here, you probably have a company insurance coverage. So you may think that you don't need your own personal insurance coverage, thinking that you can save some extra money just by not having your personal insurance. Or for some other people, they may be thinking, hey, why I want to pay so much for insurance when I already got company insurance? There are some ways to actually get around it by getting comprehensive coverage, yet not paying so much for it. Because the reality is, if you only rely on your company insurance, it really may not be enough. Because end of the day, company insurance only provide you with coverage when you are on the job. What if you decided to leave the job, or you are in between job, you took up a new offer in another company? That means that you got a gap there. Also, what if you're so sick you cannot work? Then you got nothing to fall back on, right? So here's where you can save some money and yet get a comprehensive coverage that you need. Now, let's talk about our sponsor for today's video, Prudential Assurance Malaysia Berhad. They've recently launched a new product called PRU-Million-Med Active. It's a plan that's designed with the concept of active pricing. Basically, the way it works is the lesser you claim, the more you save. So for those of you who are unlikely to make a claim anytime soon, because let's say you have company insurance, or you think you are very, very healthy, but you still want to have a peace of mind, so this is the kind of plan for you. You can get up to 15% discount on your insurance charges up front, and that is with no change to your coverage at all. That's pretty cool, right? So in other words, you get it at a discounted price. So just like other ways that we have talked about stretching your money, whether it's cutting back on unnecessary subscription or shopping smarter, PRU-Million-Med Active helps you to save where it matters the most. You are not only protecting yourself from unexpected expenses, but you're also keeping more of your hard-earned money for things that bring value, like future investment or savings for the next big trip. So if you are thinking about stretching your money, go and check out PRU-Million-Med Active. You will get both peace of mind and saving without sacrificing the coverage that you need. Now back to the next tip. When we talk about savings and cutting costs, the truth is there's only that much you can cut, right? So in order to stretch your ringgit, one thing you have to do, which is to invest. That way you can grow your money, make your money work for you. So remember all those tips earlier? If you applied all that, you would have freed up some extra cash right now. And how are you gonna use it? Will depend on you. And I will say the best thing you can do is to invest it, and invest it wisely. For those of you who are beginner, there are plenty of choice out there today. You can use simple robo-advisors or even low-risk funds. There are great options that can work for you. Now, the most important thing is this: the earlier you start investing, the better. This is because of compounding interest. Let time do the heavy lifting for you. And 20 to 30 years down the road, your retirement,
no problem.
So here's a quick tip. Take a percentage of money that you save from all those little things that we talked about and invest it regularly, even if it is just 100 ringgit a month. Start early so that your money can grow. Because let's Let's say you invest 100 ringgit a month and let it compound over time. In the beginning, it may not seem much, but as years go by, you will start seeing your money grow significantly. And once you accumulated enough, you can even use those funds to generate income with things like dividend or other interests. In conclusion, the key takeaway is this. It's not about saving money. It's really not about depriving yourself or cutting out the things that you enjoy, right? It's about being intentional with the way you spend money and find smart ways to save. So I hope that by applying those simple hacks that I shared earlier, hopefully it was practical and also out of the box, it will not only help you to make your money work harder for you, but set yourself up for bigger financial wins down the road. End of the day, the sooner you start, the more money you have and the more money you have to grow, putting you on the path of long-term financial success. Hopefully you're able to make more informed choices and enjoy life to the fullest without breaking the bank.